Hello everybody and welcome back to Trails Through Daybreak, where we are currently going through the rounds, but I could start this episode off with a side quest. I think I will, actually. Let's see. Alright.
Interesting. So these are the sorts of odd jobs you take on.
Yeah, the requests are a little under the table in nature. They're hard to bring up to the guild.
Alright. So, side quest first.
Let's be on our way.
That's the wrong place.
Never underestimate the Vern Company.
Never underestimate the Vern Company. Yo, Harrison, right? Then Arkride Solutions. You got a 4 SPG for us? Oh, thank the goddess. I could really use your help. How so? Could you fill us in on the details? You are from Vern's Weapons Development Division, right? That's right, Wait a minute, are you Catra Salesian? Hold on, why is he here? Did I specifically say this was to be kept from the Institute? Your request asked for a secrecy from Vern employees, and not Institute of Science personnel. And anyway, Catcher here ain't a researcher today. He's working with me, for reasons. We won't know how to help you if you don't tell us what the problem is. I feel like this might be related to Professor Callahan's situation. Alright. But please keep this under wraps. If CEO Towson hears about this, Oh, goddess help me. I can't promise that. It depends on the severity of your situation. But I can promise that I'll hear you out before making any moves. Regaining that classified info is in our best interest at any rate. Anything beyond that, well, that's the Spriggan's jurisdiction. Well, ain't the kid awfully bossy? Fine, I can work with that. Just let me explain myself in full, please, and preferably in private. So, well, there's no good way that I can phrase this. I got caught in a honeytrap.
Oh, I've heard of those. They crop up a lot in books and films. I guess life really does imitate art.
Well, the way I see it, that ain't really a problem on its own. She leave you blue-balled and bankrupt or what? Well, stop beating around the bush. The more we know, the sooner we can get cracking. I know, it was late last night. I had just gotten off my late shift. I had with me that briefcase with classified documents in it, as discussed earlier. And that was when I bumped into her, a hostess. She said she fell out with a regular customer she was fond of. She looked awful. But then one thing led to another, and we drank together at Hotel Ingress. Yeah? And what did that lead to? Spit something more at us, why don't you? That's enough! Do I really need to get into more detail?
Down, Aaron. Your snide little quips aren't helping. So, what happened afterward?
I don't remember, honestly. I couldn't keep my eyes open. When I came to, it was already the next morning. By then, she was long gone and she'd taken the briefcase with her. I panicked. I heard about 4 SPG requests, so I sent one out to try and save face.
Bringing classified materials to a romantic tryst is rash, to say the least.
I know, just with security clearance and all, I figured it would be safe.
Indeed, the security card system has made outside attempts at data breaches difficult. Perhaps that was what led them to target an insider like yourself.
So, you'll take it? You'll take it, right? We have to act fast, or that briefcase is as good as gone.
What should we do, Van?
Alright, we'll take it. Thank you so much. I can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Thank you, Van. I can't overlook this myself. So just to make sure, have you contacted the hotel and asked if they still have it? You might have just left it at the bar or elsewhere. They might have lost and found for those sorts of things, I believe.
Actually, that's a good point. I was so panicked that I just assumed it was stolen. Let's hit the hotel first. If they have it, case closed. Might not even charge you for that one. But if it was stolen, then we're on the case.
That's fine by me. Thank you so much.
I'm so sorry, but we don't have anything of that description. We ask our guests to return any missing items that they found, but we haven't seen nor heard of a briefcase. Housekeeping has cleaned your room already, but they didn't find anything there either.
Well, great.
It does sound like it was stolen then. And that brings us to our mystery, Roman.
By the by, did you happen to see a hostess or hostess-esque woman leaving the hotel yesterday morning?
A hostess? No, not that I recall.
I see. Very odd. Where could she have gone in that time?
Anybody in general leave around that time then?
Ah, yes, actually. There was a researcher who rushed out of the hotel that morning. She looked like she was in a hurry.
And did she? I think she did. She might have had a case with her.
A researcher? You know, now that I think about it, she was really sharp. She knew far more about engineering than the layman should. I had been talking to her about my job, and she was asking me really in-depth questions about the tech I brought up.
Well, sounds like her hostess gig's BS. And the scientist act, too. Yeah, she knows more than she lets on. That puts the honey trap theory back on the table. And that means the hunt is on. We'll handle the investigation from here. I think we got enough to go on now.
Right. Thank you ever so much. So we have a general idea of who the suspect is. Now, how do we find her?
Process of elimination, I'm thinking. We can try figuring out where she couldn't be. Let's go over the briefcase before that. First step here would be figuring out a motive. What was in there, and why was she after it?
That's classified info, as I'm sure I don't need to remind you. But, well, yeah, we do need to know. Van, can I trust you?
Trust is everything in this line of work. Your secrets are safe with us. Promise.
Alright, Harrison, if you would fill us in. Okay, fine. So, they're blueprints for a new oral gun, plus some other design documents. The military is planning to adopt them soon. We've been getting our parts and assembly pipelines ready. If those design docs were to fall into foreign hands, that would be a problem. It does explain why its contents were so highly classified. Well, hopefully it doesn't come to that, but if they do get the docs, making the actual gun wouldn't be so easy. It uses some very rare, very complicated metal alloys. And as far as I'm aware, only Basil has the custom-made machining tools required to work with them. You said the thief was well versed with engineering. She might realize she needs those alloys when she starts reading the documents. Could she still be in the city then, trying to procure some alloys for herself? You can't just work with them by hand. The alloys are useless without those special tools. Come on, pup. Come on. You wait right there then? Okay. Good boy. There you go. And you can't buy them from the Vern Company store unless you show them your certification card. So even if she knew she needed the alloys, she wouldn't be able to use them. She didn't steal your certification card too, did she? She shouldn't have. Oh no.
Harrison frantically searched his pockets, but his certification card was absent.
Are you kidding me? Not my certification card too. Oh no.
Yeah, I figured as much. She already had you wrapped around her finger. Betcha she went to the Vern store with it. Let's head on over and ask around. You just sit tight while we're finished our investigation. We'll keep you posted.
Okay. Good luck.
The arrow train.
Run.
Welcome. Always good to see you Institute folks. What can I do for you?
Yes, hello. We have a question. Did a female researcher come by the store this morning?
Yeah, somebody did came by earlier today. Looked like a researcher to me. She was a real looker, I remember. She dropped by right after we opened.
I see. Did she buy anything?
She did, yeah. She asked for some alloy machining tools. It was a bit of a strange ask. But she had her certification card on her, so yeah, I went ahead and got them for her.
She also asked where she could get that alloys themselves. Maybe she needed them for a project or something. Anyway, I told her that she might be able to help her over at Guest Guard. So, that's where our little fox ran off to.
We best hurry.
Thanks for the info.
Go, go, go!
Well, if it isn't Catra, what's got you looking so serious? I had a quick question for you, if you don't mind. Have you had a woman from the Institute come by looking for metal alloys? It looks like you saw it happen. We had someone like that just come by a bit ago. She had a valid card, so I went ahead and sold her the alloys. Should I not have?
Nah, don't sweat it. We just need to talk with her about something.
I see, well, I guess that's fair. Oh, now that you mention it, actually. She said something about heading out to a burrow after she was done. If I had to guess, she probably made for Argo Canyon. Thing is, she was driving some sporty E-Twist make, so you probably couldn't catch her if you tried. Well, that gives us a good idea of where she is at any rate. Thank you. Should we head over to the canyon then?
I just need to make sure of something right quick. Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, it's not like we can catch her if we do. You heard the man. Northeast is where we're heading.
Why? That's the complete opposite direction.
Think about it. We're dealing with somebody who's making off with classified info and trying to shake the cops off her tail. So why would she just tell some rando where she's going? She ain't gonna leave a trail like that.
That does make sense, but then why did she tell Eugene that she was going to a burrow? To deceive him, I suspect. She may very well have known she was being followed. Having stolen top-secret intel, she's likely trying to throw the authorities off her trail. That does make sense. It's exactly what a criminal would do. I agree with Van then. Let's head for the highway toward Edith.
Yeah, once we're back in Newtown, we can hop in my car and hunt them down.
Off we go!
See.
Hop in, gang. We're taking the truck.
We need to catch her before it's too late.
Well, she's a comfy ride, huh?
It is comfortable, yes, but I don't think now is the time to be discussing that. Just hurry, please. We have to make sure that classified information doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
Yeah.
I think that's the car.
Looks like she's about to stop. I'm gonna pull over too, so get ready.
Yes, I've left Basil with the documents in hand. I also procured the special tools and alloys, even if that was outside the scope of the mission. But that aside, everything has gone according to plan. I'll have to let you go for a moment. I'll call back shortly. I believe we have found our perpetrator.
So, this is the honeytrap girl, Yeah, I'd hit it.
Oh dear, I thought my little ruse would have brought me more time. You do not appear to be associated with the police or Marduk. Perhaps you might be interested in negotiating? I can offer you a substantial reward if you let me go.
Tempting, but no. Normally I'd be up for a little wheeling and dealing, but I got a pair of scrutinizing eyes on me. Afraid you're just gonna have to hand over that case.
What exactly would you have in mind if I had not tagged along? Oh my, a researcher from the Institute is here too? Well, I'm sorry to disappoint, but the case stays with me. I'll give you two options. Go back to Basil empty-handed, or return in body bags. We will never agree to your terms. I concur. We'll instead opt for the third option. Fight. That orbital gun design looks eerily familiar. It must be... Well, don't say I didn't warn you. She had monsters this whole time?
Someone came prepared. Not like it'll make any difference, though. We'll make mincemeat out of them in seconds flat.
Hold it. That's a lot of enemies.
Yeah, no shit.
I will address you all at once.
A boost would work here.
Accessing.
I wish I could S rank.
Initialize.
S rank. S boost. I can S boost, though. Don't be a fool!
Away with this.
One-handed.
Well, that didn't kill anybody, but... intimidate? Ow.
I'll get them all at once.
I know I
Certain
said
arms
it.
want to be effective.
Alright, let's
Activating
do this then.
drive.
My move now. Got a whole slew of them.
Keep it up. It's working.
Damn it. What can I do? Plasma
Got a whole
Spear
slew of
would
them.
hit a good bunch of them,
I
but...
suggest we strike now.
Ah, shit, do it. There's a lot of them, but some of them can't get close enough anyway.
Now it's my turn.
Alright, back to Cobalt Curtain.
Accessing. Initialize.
Eat this.
Well, that wasn't a lot of damage. Ow.
I won't lose. I'll get them all at once.
Activating
Not
drive.
getting free.
You asshole! You just had to move, didn't you? You just had to.
Boost level max.
I'll round them up and scatter them.
Going all in.
Yay. Van! God damn it!
Reset.
Accessing.
Ugh,
Initialize.
do it.
Brace yourself. Vandalize. Raid.
Boost gauge limiter unlocked.
Finally. Damn. Like, were you trying to show off or something, Van? By missing? No way! How could I possibly have lost? Checkmate. I'll give up the goods. And while you're at it, answer me this. What organization do you belong to? Who hired you? I can answer that in her stead. I recognize that particular gun model. She's likely associated with Zect Arms. You mean that new weapons manufacturer? If I'm remembering things right, their name started making the rounds during the war with the Empire. Correct. They are similar to Marduk in some aspects, although they are not nearly as large as an enterprise. Pup, you're on the cord. I want you to get up. Alright. They are not nearly as large an enterprise. Their ambitions for weapons development, however, are quite ferocious. They've been aggressive with expanding their market share of late. And now they're sending out spies to do their dirty work. Damn, that's low. I can't say I disagree. Stealing technology from competitors is hardly an ethical business practice. Now then, I suppose we better get this stuff back to our client. We should also take her back with us. Could you restrain her for me, Farida? On it. This all looks right. Thank the goddess it's all still here. Thank you so much for getting the briefcase back. That's a relief. Is this case closed then? Well, no, it looks like they broke into it. She knew to procure the right alloys and their tools, so I think she probably got to read the documents. The information itself has likely reached Zect Arms already. How they plan to utilize said information, I'm not sure. But, simply having a Republic schematics will give them an advantage in their own research and development. This is bad, really bad. There has to be something we can do to stop that, but what? There's another card we can play, but you might not like it. We can bring in some groups to help us out, but then, well, they'll know. This matter concerns more than just you. Now there are far-reaching industrial secrets at stake. It would be in your best interest to swallow your pride and consult the authorities. Alright, fine. The company can know. What's your plan? Well, if we want to stay on good terms with the boys in blue,
And we should probably bring this to Vern and let him work with the police themselves. Whole thing will be blown wide open at that point. But the client made his bed. That'll at least stop the intel from spreading. Or we can call some friends in other places. We'd hope the second lieutenant and the Cid will have this stuff snuffed out in no time. I think they'll be happy with an industrial spy as down payment. So, how about we get in touch with Vern? We can loop in the police too. Have them investigate the info leak.
I think that would be the safest route, yeah. Agreed. You're fine with that, Harrison?
I don't really have a choice. I need to bite the bullet and confess. Alright, let's get her done. Reset, can you patch us through the Vern?
Certainly. Have it your way. This will make things easier for the client down the line anyway.
If you make it back to your client, I wonder how long you're gonna be in the clink.
Vern's security quickly arrived on the scene. The spy was apprehended and taken to the police headquarters, where police interrogated her for her actions. The party's client did face a stiff reprimand for his lapse in judgment, but the contents of the briefcase were nevertheless secure. Ultimately, it could have been a lot worse for Harrison.
Seriously, I can't thank you guys enough. Without your help, that briefcase would have done some serious damage in the wild. I wish I didn't have to confess, but that was just the way it had to be. Yeah, sucks that we couldn't honor the original request, but hey.
I'll make sure the company doesn't punish you too harshly. Circumstances notwithstanding, it was an honest mistake. And it was good that you requested his help. Otherwise, this could have ended up much worse.
Much obliged. I have to excuse myself now. They're questioning me next.
Good luck.
That's a wrap.
Mira deposit confirmed.
That's in all three. Love it when they put one in all of them. Anyway, time to get some rounds done. It seems that Ketch just made a party, and Zach has joined it. Anyway, here's what I need to do. Go to the artisanal district and wrap up those rounds. I would join the party with the guys right now and do a live stream in Withering Waves for some stuff I gotta do, but dinner is almost done. I just got back from a delivery to the Institute, but it sounds like something went down there, and now, the heck did I miss? Wait, what? Never mind my words, I don't speak right. It was a special research building. I heard average Joes aren't even allowed in there. I don't want to be a thorn in their side while they're doing all that. What's a delivery boy to do? Guess I'll just have to sit tight for now. Dun 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 dun.
What to do?
I've reported all this to the Edith branch and brought Zin up to speed. They said they're trying to look into the Ankerville company for us too. I investigated them myself and I learned that they've been bringing the suspicious freight truck into the city lately. I'll have to look into that more. Could it be related to Armada's dealings with Professor Callahan?
Well,
We need to be proactive here, or we'll have another Thorbout on our hands. Stay sharp, everyone. Professor Callahan's undeniably smart, but all the same, he has a bad habit of panicking and rushing into bad decisions. That's always been his weak point, really. He has trouble stepping back and clearing his head. I've had way too much to drink last night, but it was a decent chance to shoot the shit with artisans at least. They're a lot more relatable than I first thought. They take a lot of pride in doing their job right, just like I do. I'm supposed to be the middleman between them and the higher-ups, but looking back, I've just been pushing the higher-ups' agenda onto them. I gotta start listening to their side of the story, you know? Maybe they can do a better job. Maybe they can do their job better that way. One of our guests was saying that our network issues have gotten even worse over the last day or so. Some people are just going off the grid altogether and staying offline until it all blows over. Ironically, our online ordering system is a bit more stable now. I guess there's less demand on the grid or something.
Those two siblings are like a whole routine in of themselves. It never gets old watching them work the floor. The network issues here have messed up my itinerary today, so I'm just standing by here. But I'm not complaining. There's hardly a morning moment here with those two around.
Some of our guests have been talking about Giscard landing some big new project.
Hold on, there was a Discord blip. Alright.
It's a common story nowadays. There's lots of demand for research now, and that's good for spirits and business both. I like to think we've been helping them along in our own way. Now that we gotta step up our game with their projects ramping up, they gotta eat. It makes me all the more glad I got my brother to develop that online ordering system. It's a real lifesaver.
Man, I sat down with my son last night, but we still couldn't really see eye to eye on things. I can't figure out kids worth a damn. I just want to help him figure out what path he wants to take in life. The workshop will let him find what works for him. But I can never get that through to him. Maybe I'm just not good at explaining it.
Alright, it's got Ren, we gotta talk to her. We're browsing the artisanal district at the moment. Those workshops are quite impressive. Paso reminds me of Wada's Weiss. It's this factory city over in Roburl. And all of these engineering types remind me of a certain old fellow too. Who would that be? Oh, nobody. You've gotten yourselves wrapped up in yet more troubles, haven't you? Do be careful. That goes for all of you. We will, don't worry.
If we need your help, we'll let you know.
Okay, who is this chick anyway?
Suspicious with a capital S.
I'm glad I was able to chat with Giscard while I was here. It would have been such a wasted opportunity otherwise.
Heard something.
There's something else on my mind too. Something worrying. But it could just be nothing, of course. I'll have to poke around a little just in case.
Thanks so much for letting me come along on this delivery.
Whoa, is that the top secret project over there? That's so cool!
Easy, boy, you're like a big old puppy. Even the small stuff on this job is serious business, you know? We gotta make sure we do every step right. I'm just a little nervous swatting you in on the big project like that.
So, if I can stop making you nervous, you'll let me on? I just gotta get better, right?
I guess that's not the wrong way to take what I said. Just start looking before you leap. You gotta stop charging blindly into things, bud.
I'm really dying to take part in that project. I gotta hurry up and get smithing. The boss really doesn't like my work, though. I do kind of feel like I'm rushing into things, but how can I? He's always yelling in the background. It puts me on edge. Maybe there's a time or place when it's nice and quiet. I'll try and make some stuff then.
Voyagers, whatever, his optimism is probably his biggest strength. He's always looking on the bright side of things. He just has a habit of rushing headfirst into everything. Makes for sloppy work. I wouldn't be so opposed to letting him work on his own if he could just show me that he actually knows what he's doing.
Tossin, if he would do what's best for Vern, if he wanted to do what's best for Vern, he'd grow a damn spine. No, he can't know every little under-the-table deal about them billion subsidiaries are doing, but it's still his job to keep everything above board. He gotta stamp that crap out when he sees it. We at the Artisanals Guild are gonna try and crack down on Callahan. If Tossin won't do it, we'll bring that blockhead down ourselves. We're starting with his supply chains. He might have shacked up in some abandoned warehouse somewhere.
I heard about what happened over at the Institute. It sounds like the Artisans Guild is helping out however they can. I'm really worried for Katra, though. And the Institute. We can't just let those goons take it over, or all Professor Hamilton's work will go to waste.
We gotta go up. We gotta go. We gotta go up. Who did I miss this way?
Oh, yeah, you. I've got a big meeting with a representative from Vern today. I really can't be bothered, if I'm being honest. I agreed to this trip. Look, woman, you're gonna get fired. Like, you're gonna get fired, you're never gonna go on another business trip, and then you're just gonna sit there and cry. So, like, quit messing around. Puppy, stop trying to hide. Get out from back there.
Technology's really taking off, but it's always become an act of violence that it weeps like that. The road to progress is paved in blood. Crossbell's last year was proof of that. Never seen anything like it in all my years. I heard Callahan was working like a man possessed in the days before he went missing. I can only wonder what he was working on. There's just something about his disappearance that gives me deja vu.
Well,
Where is that?
the goddess of the sky is always.
I heard that a
watching
professor from the Institute went missing. I can only pray that Adios extends her guiding hand to them. I'm far from an expert on this city and its customs, but I believe that the goddess's light shines brightly here all the same. I will pray for the professor's safety today.
I have heard about Professor Callahan's disappearance as well. We have asked the congregation to share any hints towards his whereabouts, but we haven't learned anything so far.
Taxes? We ain't got any taxes. What is he talking about?
I did also hear that he had been mistreating his assistants. I hoped it was only coincidence, as his assistants looked exhausted whenever I would see them, but I was wrong.
Alright, so we're done with the rounds here. So next time we'll be doing another side quest and stuff like that, so thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.